Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Luxury Living Live. Today, I'm very pleased to have a guest, Kristin Daly. She's the owner and head of the Daly Group. She is kindly multitasking during a home inspection in Chestnut Hill. So I think we've lost her for a moment. Yeah, it's what happens when you're a realtor. You have to get creative. There we go. I know. I had a broadcast where I had to do it from my car outside of Staples to get Wi-Fi in the middle of COVID shut down because it was a settlement day. So we'll do what we have to do, right?
Yeah. Anna, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, good morning. I've been so looking forward to our chat, and especially timely now talking about Center City condos, and you're certainly an expert in that area. I always appreciated the updates that you offered the office when I worked with you at KW Philly. I know we both had listings at the Ritz, at the Murano, in Rittenhouse Square, 23 South 23rd, some of the iconic condo complexes in Center City. And in talking to realtors luxury realtors in other areas of the country, to some degree, they're seeing some push from sort of the dense, and of course, Philadelphia is not as dense, so we might escape some of that push, but more away from that dense urban Center City luxury lifestyle, more to a little more outdoor space. And then, we've had all these fears about COVID and, the well-publicized protests and damages that happened. Now, I know Rittenhouse Square is very resilient. I don't think anything can shape our hardcore Rittenhouse residents from wanting and investing and living there. But what are your thoughts about what's going on in the condo market and how that may or may impact values?
Yeah. So again, thank you for having me. This conversation is very timely. My team and I do a lot of condo work in Center City, in addition to other types of work outside of Center City. And I've always described the condo market, when I refer to the condo market, especially the luxury condo market in Center City, I typically refer to three existing buildings that are fairly new, that span the city, east, central, and also west. So on the east side, you have One Riverside that was developed. I'm sorry, the west side, you have One Riverside that was developed by Carl Dranoff a few years ago. Then, of course, you have the residences at the Ritz that were developed just over 10 years ago. And then you also have 500 Walnut, which is a fairly recent addition to our condo. So I typically have those three buildings to give our luxury clients the benefit of a broad understanding of the market. And then I'm very closely watching inventory at all three of those buildings, in addition to the new developments of Art House, which is at Broad and Spruce, which is another Carl Dranoff development. And then I'm very closely watching the Laurel, which is a development at 19th and Walnut. So those condo sales are really indicative of a continual strong market in Center City. Don't get me wrong, the entire real estate industry has been affected by the pandemic, nationally, globally, and I'm happy to say that just now we're coming out of that. I hope you are feeling that too, Susanna.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm proud to announce that our team's production is at the level that it was at in February. So we're closing about 5 million in January for our team, which is what we closed in February prior to the pandemic. And that is servicing a lot of condo needs as well as single family home needs. Is it affecting so specifically is the pandemic and some of the other, unifying questions in our world, are they affecting the Center City market? I think that, the summer market is typically slower because of the weather. It's so beautiful out. A lot of people don't necessarily want to be in a condo setting where sometimes there is a minimal amount of outdoor space. So I think in general, what we see are people who may be looking to change from a condo, maybe a smaller condo, or a condo with no outdoor space, in preference of a condo with maximum outdoor space, or some condo buildings like, for example, the Phoenix at 16th and Arch, which has a beautiful, beautiful, massive common terrace at the top of the building. And I think condo buildings that haven't invested in their outdoor space in a while are probably going to make some capital improvements to that outdoor space to make it more pleasurable for the residents who live there. And I think outdoor space will be a strong focus. I think one of the newer buildings that I didn't mention before, 2100 Hamilton, which is right near the Barnes and the Rodin Museum, those units are maximizing the outdoor terrace space, private and public, I believe. So I think that the condo today want that experience of being out of the city while they're still in the city. Oh, ask me about the restaurant scene. So I felt so at home when I was able to celebrate a personal settlement that I had, which was a purchase of a 3-unit investment property for myself with a friend of mine who is my partner in the property. And we were able to go to park and make, and, you know, with all of the appropriate guidelines being satisfied, we enjoyed a really nice celebratory, a glass of frosé and a little bit of something to eat. We broke bread together, we celebrated. And that's really what life is about, success is about, and real estate is about. It's celebrating those closures. In addition, yesterday I was doing some work in Society Hill, and I loved my walk through Washington Square, which I haven't been doing as much of lately. And we were able to squeeze in a reservation at Tallulah's Garden.
Ooh.
And I'm sure it's one of your favorite restaurants.
Yes, it is.
So you and I will have to meet up there again soon. But we enjoyed this beautiful tuna crudo, this amazing goat cheese tart, and in fact, I never have dessert, but I had dessert last night. So in as sensitive and as safely as possible, I look forward to continuing to enjoy my urban lifestyle while we also, as you can see from the inspection I'm at today, service the suburbs. But I invite everyone to continue to consider the city as a great, viable, and vibrant place to live.
That's very timely and very helpful. I think in the midst of the pandemic, when we were all shut down and nervous, some of my possible sellers on the main line who were planning, empty nesters who were planning to downsize and move into Center City, were having second thoughts about doing that, because the whole drive was to be able to walk to restaurants and enjoy just that lifestyle. And I think it's just the fear that we had in the middle of that. And, you know, post-corona, things might be a little different, which who doesn't want to have a little more space around your restaurant table anyway? So it's nice to know that this type of lifestyle, which is not going to go out of style, is coming back, and is coming back strong. And I think some of those fears are probably temporary and may have affected, you know, decisions at that time. But that's very good to hear. And yes, my mouth was watering just talking about Tallulah's Garden. Every bite is delectable. And Kristin, you're saying the same thing I've heard from other luxury agents talking about San Francisco market, the Miami market, Connecticut outdoor space, even if it's just a little balcony, you know, something that has within the building or nearby even. And so we come to everything that you mentioned is either near a park or near the river. Like One Riverside is an ideal location with outdoor space. It doesn't have to be right in the building. If it's, you know, access to a park that, you know, of course we have Rittenhouse Square, we have Washington Square Park, the Riverside, and all of those that add elements of outdoor space. And so location, the amenity of location previously seemed to be access to shopping and so on, but now we need to add that green space to that, the amenity of location. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And you may feel free to share with your clients our new listing at the Residences at the Ritz. It's unit 26B. And for those of you who don't know the floor plans very well at the Residences at the Ritz, there's only one floor plan that offers balcony space, and that's the B line. So this particular unit faces north towards City Hall and Dilworth Park, and faces east. And it's a 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath unit on the market for just under 2 million, 1995. The air conditioning just went on over here. Let me move.
There we go. Yeah, I've seen your videos on Facebook. I love the artwork, which doesn't mean anything in terms of buying, but just to let you know, I saw that and enjoyed your walkthroughs. And indeed, the Ritz-Carlton offers amenity-rich living, which people still want. And you have also a lot of space around, as well as transportation to 30th Street Station, Dilworth Plaza, and other amenities that make it, just, I don't think the demand is going to change, in my opinion, for the Ritz-Carlton. There's only one brand that carries that level of quality and amenities worldwide. So it's a beautiful unit.
Thank you. Overall, at in Center City, there are about 50 luxury condo units available right now that are priced above 1.5. So in addition to my my listing at the Residences at the Ritz, there's an interesting unit at 500 Walnut that's priced just above $6 million, and it's 4,300 square feet. So the price per square foot on that is $1,500 per square foot in comparison to our pricing at the Residences at the Ritz, which is about and the 500 Walnut building is a totally different style of building. At the Residences at the Ritz, you have almost 250 units. It's a very large, amenity-rich building that is very public. You're right next to City Hall. It's in a very public location. You're right at Avenue of the Arts. And you have lots of people coming and going in the 6 elevators that we have. At 500 Walnut, it's very different because you only have about 35 units at 500 Walnut. And so you have a boutique building right off of Washington Square in Society Hill that is very private and quiet, and it appeals to a completely different buyer and lifestyle. And just a quick comment on price per square foot. Art House and also the Laurel are priced around $1,700 per square foot, if not a teeny bit more.
Yeah, excellent. Good insights. So it's important to have a good realtor who knows the market clearly, and to take into account different factors. And maybe I always ask my clients to have an open mind, because you may have a suggestion from your realtor for something that you hadn't considered, given sort of the intangible, sometimes it's the intangible qualities of what someone's looking for that we can map possibilities to, that aren't something you find online in terms of square footage or numbers of beds and baths. It's more important to understand the lifestyle, even what's driving the purchase, what experiences have been in terms of desirability of different amenities. And, so I encourage you, if you're looking for a condo, keep Kristin in mind, and also just be very honest with your realtor. Let them know what you've been through, if you've had a bad experience, what your lifestyle is. And if you allow us, we'll come up with some out-of-the-box suggestions that, might be worth considering. And we'll maybe even do a video walkthrough, as Kristin's done, so that we can test the market and see if it might resonate for you.
Absolutely.
So long-term, do you feel very confident about the Philadelphia luxury market?
I do. I feel very confident with the Philadelphia luxury market. Again, don't get me wrong, the pandemic and all of the other challenges and changes in our world today have changed many buyer opinions and decisions, and many seller decisions too. So there are lots of people pivoting at this point, which is kind of exciting, because people you thought were maybe selling are now staying for different reasons in their homes, and people you thought were going to stay are now selling and pivoting and making other decisions. So it creates a lot of work for us as brokers, not only on the practical, professional level, but just in terms of, it's a fascinating time to understand people's thoughts and how much they care about their families. I think because most of these decisions are being generated by expanding families, changing families, wanting to see families more or their loved ones. It potentially can be driven by their pets and their needs too during this time. So it's really fascinating to just learn more about our clients as they're making these very sensitive, difficult, and financially intensive decisions. So as I know you do, we just want to be the right professional to help them patiently walk through this process because we know there are a lot of moving parts.
Mhm. It's a concierge type service, and almost like I know it may be overused, but really matchmaking. Really taking to heart what the client's situation. Everybody's story is different. No two homes are identical, even in the condo market. Nothing's the same. Everything's a little bit different, and no two people are the same. So we have the honor of helping people accomplish their goals and dreams, and that's what makes it so rewarding. Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us from the midst of a home inspection. I know how that goes. Best laid plans and, out there working in the heat. I understand. It is a very dynamic time between suburbs and cities and shifting. I think pivoting is a good word. It's something that I've been hearing used a lot more. I think the whole industry's pivoting. The real estate industry is pivoting, the market's pivoting. And, we, of course, are adept at moving quickly to adjust accordingly because we are here to map to our clients' needs, not the reverse. So please reach out. Kristin, I've got her information on the bottom. She has a wonderful team. You can't find anyone more knowledgeable about Center City luxury, and they do an excellent job of taking care of people.
Thank you, Susanna. We feel the same about you. Thank you for having me. This was lovely. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. We'll talk again soon. And any questions, hit Kristin up. She'll answer them, or I'll forward them, and we'll let you know. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.